United Nations Charter created many bodies or institutions or mechanisms or mandates which were entrusted to implement the functions or the rights enumerated into the Charter. So I mentioned that the Commission on Human Rights CHR was formed in 1946. Which was entrusted to draft the binding convention, but unfortunately, as the Cold War, due to Cold War, the varying blocs in the United Nations cannot agree on the binding convention, so they agreed ultimately on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. After 1948, we saw the period of 18 years then when the Commission on Human Rights formulated two covenants, legally binding documents separating the civil and political rights and economic, social, cultural rights in two separate documents. As I mentioned that the declaration does not create legal obligations, but is Universal Declaration of Human Rights is the basis for the creation of various instruments and norms and conventions, so it has acquired the status of the customary international law, hence it is binding as well. Having said that, I say in 1966 two conventions were brought from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. One was the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which is called ICCPR. The other is called International Covenant on Economic, Social, Cultural Rights. Together with Universal Declaration of Human Rights, these two documents are called the International Bill of Human Rights. And we saw that International Bill of Human Rights and gradually many other conventions flowed, like on the Convention on the Rights of Women, like CEDAW, like Convention on the Rights of Child, like Convention Against Torture, like Convention on the Rights of Migrant Workers, like Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and latest the Convention on the Enforced Disappearances. So these are called the core human rights conventions which has flowed from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, but we call them the treaties or the treaty bodies which are not the creation per se of the Charter. So there are two types of bodies or mandates or mechanisms in United Nations. One is those created from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Other are those institutions which are inbuilt, like in Article 68 we had seen like there is a Security Council, there is a General Assembly, there is a Economic Social Council, there is an International Court of Justice, and many other bodies. So these bodies are called the charter based, and those mandates are those bodies which are created by the treaties, they are called the treaty bodies. So in United Nations human rights system, it is very important to understand that to understand the United Nations system, we need to differentiate between the charter-based system and the treaty-based system. In charter-based system, we had seen that the Commission on Human Rights, which was created in 1946, that was renamed as the Human Rights Council in 2006. And Human Rights Council is a political body where the representative of the government sit as a representatives. So it is consisting of 47 members. What is the function of Human Rights Council? Basically, it's a watchdog. It is a main body which monitors the situation of human rights in the UN member countries. So the mechanisms available at the disposal of the Human Rights Council is that after every 4.5 years, it scrutinizes, it reviews the situation of the human rights on the ground, and that mechanism is called the Universal Periodic Review. That is called the UPR. And Pakistan has undergone such mechanism twice in the past. One was in 2008, second was in 2012, and third we are going to be reviewed by November 2017. So this is the review mechanisms where the other member countries sits and scrutinizes and advises and guides the government to improve the situation of human rights based on UN Charter, based on Universal Declaration of Human Rights, based on the ratified human rights conventions, based on international human rights law and humanitarian law if applicable. So these are the basis of the review in the charter based, and we have a separate mechanisms under the conventions.